This video will cover the topic of finding the volume of composite shapes. Be sure the date and topic are at the top of your page. The essential question for this video will be, how do we find the volume of non-prism or composite shapes? So we have worked with regular rectangular prisms and triangular prisms, but sometimes shapes are made up of multiple different prisms. Like this house, for example, right? When you look at this, it's a full house, but what you can really see is it's a combination of a triangular prism and a rectangular prism. So if you wanted to find the volume of the house, you would need to find the volume of each section and then add them together, right? Once you see that, you can start to find the total volume of any kind of compound shape. So this here is a composite shape, right? I can tell that this is made up of pretty much two rectangular prisms. If I cut this here, right, I'll see that I have a prism here, we'll call this A, and I have a prism here, and we'll call this B, right? They're both rectangular prisms. So I'm going to take a moment and find the volume of each of those parts, and then put them together to find our total volume. And I'll start with prism A. So I need to see, this is a rectangular prism, so I need to find the area of the base. And I'm actually just going to shade this in because I know the top and bottom are the same. So this is the top, but I'm going to kind of use it as the base as well. So I need to find the area of that base first and then multiply it by the height. And I can tell right away that the base here has a length of 12 and a kind of height of 6, right? If I'm just looking at that part. So I'm going to do that part first. And then I would need to multiply that by the height to figure out my total. But I'm going to just mark my height here as 4. Which means that for my prism A, the volume of just that section is 288 cubic units, right? But I'm not done, right? That was just prism A. Which means I can now turn my attention to prism B. And once again, I'm looking for that kind of total surface base that I can use to then multiply by my height. And I need to see what values I have here. So I know that this goes back the same as this, which is the same as what would be here and here. So this is 6 on this side. The entire length here was 18, but 12 was used up already, which means this section here, even though it might not look it, right, it might look a little skewed here or distorted, this is also 6. Because 18 minus the 12 that have already been used would leave us with 6. So I'm going to use that to figure out the whole surface of the bottom and then multiply that by our height. And when I do that calculation, I see that the volume of the second section, B, is 504. So that means, of course, that my total volume would be A plus B. So I'm just going to add this up. And the total of this entire space would be 792 cubic units, right? This is cubes inside, so we use that little notation of cube or 3 in the corner. The same process will be true, for a shape such as this one. And this time I'm looking at it and I can see that there is a rectangular prism here, I'll call that A. And then I see a triangular prism here. So those are the two sections that I'm working on. And I'm going to work under the assumption that this is sort of on its side. Prisms are named for the faces that are parallel. So even though these are on their side, these are what we're going to refer to as the base, right? So those triangles will be our big B. And I'm going to find the prism or the volume of both prisms, of course, but I would encourage you to try it yourself first and then pause the video, try it, and then check in and see if we get the same thing, just so you can see if you're on the right track. So when I did prism A, I'm looking again at this as sort of my base here. So this is 13 by 13, because that's 13, so this is as well. So that's this blue section here. And then I'm going to multiply it by the height of 30. And I know it's a little weird because it looks like the height is in a different spot, but I'm just pretending this has been rotated down on its side. And when I do all that, I find the volume of this first section, the rectangular space, 5,000, it's a lot, whopping 5,070 inches cubed. And then I'll turn my attention now to my prism B, which is a triangular prism. And the volume is still the same. It's still my big B times H. The only difference is now this is a triangle. So when I find my area of my base, I have to use my triangular formula. And when I'm looking at my triangle, I see that I have a 9 by 13 triangle. So that would be how I would start to find the area of my base. But it's a triangle, so I divide by 2. And then the height here is still 30. So that's going to be my height here as well. So I'm just going to punch those in and calculate that out. And in doing so, I find that the area of just the triangle is 58 and 2/10. And then I have to multiply that by all the 30 layers. So the volume of that section is 1,755 cubic inches. Which means if I put these back together again, the grand total here would be 6,825 inches cubed. And that's an 8 here, if you can't tell. So hopefully you tried that on your own and received the same answer or got the same answer. And this one we'll start with actually kind of a scenario here. So we know that we want to build a step and we're trying to see how much space is inside the step for this group. So I'm going to give a model, right? You can kind of hold on here and I'll draw this, or I'll insert a model here for you. And so your task is, of course, to figure out the total volume here, right, of this, total volume of this space. And be mindful of the fact, right, that we have kind of two prisms here. If I were you, I would cut this into two sections. You can choose if you want to cut it this way or cut it in a different direction. But you're going to have to need to find the different dimensions that are missing, right? So there's some things missing here and maybe here. So kind of be aware of that. But find the volume of your two different sections and then combine it, and let's see if we get the same thing when we meet in class. And remember that the essential question for the video was how to find the volume of these composite shapes. So this is a great chance for you to practice that on your own. Make sure you bring the answer to this question and any questions you might have to ask to class, and we'll practice this more together.